Hey everyone, welcome to the Digital Marketing Career Kickstarter, and I'm very happy to have with me Shraddha Somani, who's the guest for today's webinar. She is a digital marketing training professional, has more than 9 years of experience. She has worked with companies like HDFC and Apollo Health, and she also is a freelancer, right? And so she could, in fact, when I was discussing with her before the webinar, we discussed if she could share some experiences from the clients that she has managed, and she's agreed to do that. So hi Shraddha, you want to just do a quick intro? Anything else, anything that I missed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hi Kaushik. I was first working as a digital marketing
Right.
freelancer,
Okay.
and then it was my passion, to teach digital marketing. So I
Right.
am also providing training to various institutes, obviously
Right.
as a freelancer, as a part-time faculty,
Right.
because
Right.
I really love to train people
Sure.
for digital
Sure.
marketing.
So how did you get into freelancing? I mean, you want to just tell everyone? Uh, I mean, did you start with your contacts, or was it these freelancing forums, or how did you?
No, it was simply just with LinkedIn. I started my career.
Right.
Before digital marketing, I was working with HDFC Bank,
Right.
and due to family issues, I have to leave my job
Sure.
from 9 to 5. So I thought that what is next that I can sit at home and do. So then I
Right.
thought of digital marketing. It excited me always that how I'm getting remarketing ads and
Right.
stuff like that. So then I gradually created my own websites as I am MCA by profession, so I know how to create the websites. And I used
Right.
to watch different videos, have a search query on Google, and I learned digital marketing by myself.
Right.
And then I created my portfolio and I submitted. I had a portfolio website. That's how I
Right.
marketed my own website. And through
Yeah.
LinkedIn, then I got a contact. I have never used a freelancing platform as of.
Yeah. So from my experience also, if you have a web design background, or you're a little more, you're perceived as a little more technical, and you tend to get your first set of assignments easier
It's like
than the
icing
others.
on
Yeah.
the cake. You are a
Yeah.
digital marketer, you have some technical knowledge also,
Sure.
coding knowledge also. So it's like a icing on the cake.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Great. So let's start. So we as the typically the structure that we follow is that we start with a news item, then we get into a market case study, and then we move on to a particular kind of tool insight. So the way we've structured today's webinar is that we have all of these around search engine marketing, and we'll
Okay.
be talking largely around Google AdWords. So let's start with the first one. I'll just be sharing my screen. Right. So in news, we're going to be talking about the new gallery ads.
Right.
Now, as the viewers, as some of the viewers would also be knowing that there are two ways in which you can do run ads.
Right.
One is using the search network, and one is using the ads network. Uh, Shraddha, you want to just talk about what is new here, and how is it really different from the Google Ads network, where we can already run say banner ads across Google partner websites. I'll just
So
okay, yeah.
yeah. So this ad that you can see is the ad by Google that they are discovering. That is a gallery ad. So here, if you can see, okay, you will be having eight kind of images, carousel images that will keep on scrolling. Now on display networks, if you know, we can create the image ads. We can also create the responsive ads that has an image. But if
Right.
it's a search network, a simple Google search, if I'm doing, okay, I cannot see this kind of ads. So this is something new that they had introduced, and soon it will be available to the users of Google Ads. So
Okay.
what can be done on this ads is that you can have multiple images of the same brands. Say, for example, this is a restaurant brand and they are advertising for one of their meals.
Right.
Now, what is the benefit with this ad is it's designed with the consumer brands in mind, both business to consumer as well as business to business companies can make an effective use of them. So, say for example, if it's a restaurant, gym, or hotel, or car dealers, or travel agencies. So, if you are selling something, then if it is an imaginary form, then it has a great impact, great appeal as compared to only a text form ad. Now, if I'll show you, okay, this is only a text form ad. So if you can
Right.
see this ad, it is also for a restaurant, but it does not carry such impact which the previous ad is carrying over here.
Right.
Okay, because
Right.
it's tend to like human brains process images more faster than text. They
Right.
also remember, they also retain the images rather than the text.
Right.
So,
Right.
so this is a great benefit
Yeah.
that can be shown.
But it's
So,
only for the mobile device. That's what
yes,
you're saying.
yes.
Okay.
As of now, it's only available for mobile
Okay.
device.
And it's not yet released in India, right? I think it's being tested because you're not seeing the kind of these ads yet. So it's not released yet, right?
Yes, it's in a beta version.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is, as soon as it is available, you should take advantage of this before your competitors take advantage. So it will
Right.
be a unique way of showing your ads for your brand.
Yeah, and it's a carousel, right? So and carousel ads, even on Facebook, they that's the best practice. That's what that's what is a recommendation generally. That if you have a series of images, a carousel, then it tends to work better
Yeah,
than just
more
once.
conversions you get, people tend to click on that ad or even remember the ad instead of text ad they see on your
Right.
on the devices.
Right. Right. So great. So that was about. Gallery ads, and as Shraddha was saying, the interesting thing is that you can run these these display network kind of ads right on Google search, and you don't need to have a you don't need to be an e-commerce website, or because generally the other option is, I mean, you have Google Shopping, which is for e-commerce websites, but that even if you're not an e-commerce website, you can run these ads. So great. And it's a novel, it's new, right? So it's something new which the platform has introduced, so less number of people would be trying it. So it's a good, as Shraddha was saying, as soon as it's released, it's probably a good time to it's a good time to really test it and experiment and see how it's doing.
And people
Okay.
are always excited to see new things that is coming up, that
Right.
innovation things that comes up from the brand. They are always excited and they always accept new things in this digital world.
Okay, we move on to the next part of the webinar, which is about the role that branded searches play in search engine marketing. And so, just as a background, before we let Shraddha share her experience on this, there are two kinds of queries which you can use in AdWords. So, one is the branded queries, which is your, so if you're a if you're a make my trip, then any query which has make my trip in it, right? So that becomes like a branded query. And the other bit is the generic search bucket, where buy tickets, buy hotels, all those kind of queries which does not have the brand. So that becomes the generic bucket. So Shraddha, what is the suppose you are a big brand, suppose it is make my trip, how should they perceive branded searches within search engine marketing, right?
Okay. So if you see big brands like Google, you have Emirates, you have GoDaddy, you
Yeah.
have Amazon, they always have their ads running up in Google. Now,
Hmm.
first I'll show you with the example that why it is necessary that you should always have a branded keywords.
Hmm.
So I'll just show you the example. I think I'll just share the screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you see over here, this ad is regarding, this is regarding a Hotjar. If you see my keyword or my query is Hotjar,
Right.
but if you see in the ad, right, the ad is coming for the brand that is VWO, that is Visual Website Optimizer, or Zoho. They are
Hmm.
the competitors of Hotjar. Now, what they have done is they have taken the advantage of Hotjar by putting up their keywords as a Hotjar of their competition. Now, what is happening over here? The Hotjar is losing their presence over here. Okay, so if I want to be aware of my, if I want people to make aware of my brand, it's always compulsory to have to run a branded keywords campaign in Google Ads. Now,
And just to come in here, Shraddha, it is any advertiser can bid for the branded keyword also, right? That is why you are seeing the Zoho is able to run ads which have even when someone is Hotjar, Zoho is able to run those ads, right? That's permitted
they
in
are taking
AdWords.
the benefit. So
Yeah.
it's very important for the brands. Now, what will happen? There will be 2 to 3 benefits if brands are always running their branded campaign keywords. So, say
Hmm.
for example, there is something known as search engine domination. So, when I
Right.
search on Google, I'll just show you by searching on Google.
Yeah.
I'm searching with Emirates. Emirates is a good, well-known brand. Okay, now if you see on my screen, they are running the ads even though they are very popular. So, what is the reason behind them of running ads? One is known as search engine domination. I don't want my competitor to be at the first position for the branded keywords if they are using branded keywords for my brand. So I'm showing my ads. Even then in the organic result I'm ranking well for the branded keywords. And on the right hand side, if you can see something that is known as a knowledge graph. So whole search engine result page I'm picking up, and I'm not giving any advantage to my brands, to my competitors to show their ads. So that's why it's necessary that I show, always I run a branded campaign, even though I'm ranking good through my SEO efforts, organic results. Even if I'm ranking,
Yeah.
I should always use the branded keywords.
Right.
If you can see, whole page is now dominated by Emirates. They have not given any chance to their competitors because they are doing organically, they are doing well, and they are also running the ads. Now, what would have happened if they don't have run the ads? If there were any competitors, they might have taken an opportunity to show Emirates, to include Emirates as the keywords, and the ads would have been shown for that brand. Right?
Right. Right. And if you run ads with your branded queries, of course the CTR, the conversion rate, the cost at which you're getting these conversions is going to be quite attractive, right, as compared to the other generic search buckets, right?
Yes, because your brand becomes highly relevant for your branded keywords. Now, say for example, if you are using a branded keyword and if your competitor is using, what will happen? Competitor will often end up paying more for your branded keywords because it's your brand, so your brand is highly relevant. So your cost per click will also decrease if you are using branded keywords.
Right, right. So even if Delta or Lufthansa or any of the airlines was, I mean, right now we don't see the ad, but if they were bidding for Emirates,
Right.
you're saying in most likelihood their ad would be on the second or third position as compared to Emirates.
Yes,
So
and they
that,
will
yeah,
end up more paying for the cost per click if someone is clicking, or for the impression as well. They will end up
right.
paying more for that branded keywords.
Right. So this is the strategy. I think even you may not be a very big brand. You may be a very small brand,
Hmm.
but I think still it makes sense, right? Even if you're a small company, and even if they are like so whatever, so 200 searches a month for your brand, it's not very high, but whenever someone is searching for your brand, that just shows that that person is interested, and you shouldn't. give the opportunity to any competitor to just put up an ad and take away that person, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You are absolutely right. So if I'm using branded keywords, if I even if I'm a small brand, if I'm using a branded keywords, anyone if is searching with my brand name, my search will always come at the top position, and my competitors' position will be below me if the ads will be shown.
Right, right. And just the last bit to discuss here was, even if you are on the top in organic, like in this case, Emirates, their website would be on the top, right, for this keyword. But still, it
Yes,
makes sense because you just don't want to lose a person who has a favorable mind towards your brand. You don't want to even take the chance, and especially when you know that you'll get the keyword at a lower cost and the conversion at a lower cost. So that is why a lot of big brands, and I've also come across a lot of big brands who follow this search engine domination policy practice. I mentioned small brands because it's not many small brands do that. So smaller brands should also look into that. Yeah,
yes. So even
yeah.
if you see at my screen for Google Ads, right? Google Ads, they are also advertising. Now, few days back, I saw that when I searched with Google Ads, I saw Google Ads, and there was next to it there was some brand that was known as Olive Group. They were also
Okay.
running the ads, and in the headline they have mentioned Google Ads. Like it was very difficult. If I'm
Hmm.
reading the URL, then only I could make out that okay, this is
Yeah,
some other brand. So this is how like people use the brand name to increase the brand awareness. By mistake, also if I'm clicking on that site, I'm getting aware of that brand.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I should cut down the competitors' presence, brand awareness, obviously. So
Right,
that's also one of the reason that I will be using branded keywords in my campaign.
right, right. Cool. Great. So we move on to the last section of the webinar today, which is where we typically cover a new tool or an interesting tool which we think all of you guys should know, right, or start experimenting with. So today we are going to be talking about a tool called Hotjar, and basically it's a great tool by which you can understand visitor behavior on the site. Now I know all of you are going to just come in here and say that, hey, but that's what Google Analytics does. But I'll let Shraddha you know talk about that and explain the difference, why we require a tool like Hotjar, even if you have a tool like Google Analytics. So I'll just.
Yeah. So tool like Hotjar, or even if you have seen the competitors' tool, right?
Right.
That is VWO in the Google Ads, in the Google search engine, right? So this tools are known as conversion optimization tools. Now
Hmm.
I will tell you exactly what this tool does and why, even if we have Google Analytics, why we should always uh, use this tool. I'll
Right.
just share my screen over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll show you the analytics page. Okay. So
Hmm.
this is for the 25th of July. And
Right.
now I'm getting to know from here that, okay, this is the home page and this is some domain registration hosting page. This is mobile application page that has been visited. But now, in that page, what was the action on which all streams they have seen? I'll not able to see. Only I'll able to see the data of the page, but I'll not able to see that what elements on that page they have visited. But
Right.
that we can do with the Hotjar tool. So say for example, I am logging to the Hotjar tool, and I'll just show you one recording that
Hmm.
how it records. From here, this is also data of 25th July. Okay, so they have landed on a landing page, that is a home page. Then they have also visited a domain registration page, so
Hmm.
I can just play it and I can just show that. how it tracks the data. It will also track that for how much time visitor has, hang on that particular element of my page.
Right.
I'll just play a recording. Okay, so this is a
Sure.
website and this is a recording that is going on.
Hmm.
So they have clicked on domain and registration page. They landed
Right.
first on the home page.
Right.
Okay, I'll just play another.
So this is like, you're having a CCTV camera on your website and you are actually able to see what people are doing. And so, but here, so here's the thing, right? You will need to watch enough number of such recordings in over a period of time, and then you'll get an idea of how this works,
Right, right.
right?
So what I can do then, I can track the behavior of this page, and I can see that what are the different things that they are doing on
Yeah.
my same screen. What are the elements where they are clicking on the page? So if
Yeah.
it's my home page, what are the popular areas of my home page? I can do a testing on that. While with
Mm.
Google Analytics, I can only see that what are the pages they are visiting. So over
Right.
here, I can also see that on the home page, if they are going, what are the different elements where they are waiting. So if you can see, this is some of the section where they are waiting. They might be looking at some of the information. So I can know that, okay, this is the useful information for the users. That's why they are stopping on this particular screen. Or
Right.
I can also see that what is the screen that they are moving too fast. I can track all this data with the Hotjar tool. Or also we have a tool like Crazy Egg, we have a tool like VW or Zoho.
Right.
All these tools I can use to do a advanced tracking, which I cannot do with Google Analytics.
Right. So that was recordings, and you want to just maybe click on heat maps. Is there something there?
Yeah.
Any? Yeah.
So basically, I will tell you what is a heat map. Heat map will tell you that what is the popular area on your website. This is on the click, on the move, and the scroll. So if you can see,
Okay.
here, I have three options, that is click, move, and scroll. And here is something that you can see. So I can see if this is my menu, how many clicks are there for the 25th July, that is the date range I have selected. Okay, so I will come to know, okay, these are the tabs that they are clicking over here. Then I'll just move down. I can able to see that, okay, they have read our services. There were two clicks. This is a click for individual user that I can see in the heat map. Okay, so I can
Right.
know what are the popular areas on my website where they are stopping basis on the clicks scroll. If now someone is scrolling, okay, where is the element where they are stopping while scrolling? I can even
Right.
see that area. So if you can see something that is cold and hot, so hot is the most popular area and cold is the least visited or least popular area. So something in red, that is a banner image. Then I have our services. The green about us is green. So it's not as much as popular. And the clients area which I have on the website is a cold area. That is a least visited or scrollable area that I
Right.
can see with the heat map.
And especially, I think this is a good tool which the digital marketing. This can be a this can be the basis for the discussion between the digital marketing team and the web design team. Okay, in any
Yes.
company,
So
because
what
that's the visual feedback. Visually, you can tell the designer that, hey, whatever landing page or website that you have made, and you've driven so much of traffic, but people are not clicking on this section, people are clicking more here, and and because otherwise the design teams is a little aloof, in that sense, from what's happening on the digital marketing side. So
right, right.
this is a good opportunity.
Right. So
Yeah.
without spending much on the budget, I can run something that is known as A/B testing with this tool also. So in
Yeah.
A/B testing, I will see, I will have every person has different opinion regarding the color combination, font size. So I can test the elements on my website, elements such as the font size, the color, the image. the contact us form that I have. With
Right.
A/B testing, I can test those elements and I can actually test that what is the best conversion, in which kind of page I am getting best conversion. On page one, I am getting best conversion on, or on page two, I am getting the best conversion. So I can measure the conversion, and before running a campaign with a good budget, I'll first always do a testing and then I'll run a campaign so that I don't lose on my budget. So it's like first analyzing what is working best for you, what is not working best. I will delete that kind of element. I will
Yeah.
understand it and then I'll run a campaign. So instead of wasting a budget, I want that more and more conversions should happen on my website rather than just simply running a campaign without knowing the background of how it will work.
Right, right. And no, and from my experience also, we've used this a couple of times with some companies, and yeah, the feedback that you get when you show someone this kind of a visual map, right,
Hmm.
is always positive, and they understand things a lot quicker than rather than showing them a analytics report, which is more data driven. I mean, without any visuals in it. So yeah, this looks like a very good thing to experiment with. So I think it's also. So the good thing is, even in the basic package, you are able to even test this out, right? You can see at least a minimum number of heat maps
Right,
in
right. So
basic.
even if
Okay.
I'm running a conversion, so if you can see on my screen, okay, this is some conversion ads that I'm running. So
Okay.
mostly the conversion ads, you will be having a landing page. In your landing page, you will be having a form. Okay,
Hmm.
people will fill up a form and then they will submit. So in
Right.
Google conversion report, what I will get, I only get the detail once they have submitted a form, but
Hmm.
I will not get a detail that people who are visiting the form, they have started filling up the form, but if they have not completed the form, then I cannot track that data to Google Ads conversion. That
Right.
data I can check with Hotjar. You have something known as forms. So
Okay.
I can connect my conversion landing page conversion form
Hmm.
with this hot map and I can know. So over here, if you can see, okay, there is a name, email, site, organization name, employees, and message. So these are the
Hmm.
fields of a form for which I can see the data. So which user is not filling up a form, a complete form, from which point they are exiting the form filling process. I can understand all this data. So I can understand if there are, many of the fields in the form, definitely people will not fill up. But if I have only 3 to 4 fields, then they will not hesitate to fill up. Right? So I can
Right.
also
Right.
track that which field people are finding useful and which field I should delete because it's an unnecessary field.
Right.
And also I can get a data that before the conversion has happened, if anyone has visited a form and if they have not filled up the form, even that
Right.
data I can get from this tool.
Right. Right. No, I think this is pretty useful, and it really makes understanding data very accessible and very easy. That's a lot of data doesn't get analyzed just because it looks so tough, it looks so difficult to analyze, but this makes it look easy, and which I think this is a good tool, which people who are viewing this webinar, I think you should try out the basic package and see for yourself how this can work for you.
Yeah,
Right.
and it is also very easy to implement. You will just get a code. You have to
Right.
just enter that code and it will start tracking your data. It's not a technical thing that you need to know before, starting the data. And it's very easy interface so that you can easily understand that what are all the options available and you can take benefit of it.
Okay, so great. Thanks, Shraddha. So I think we covered a good. I think this whole webinar was driven largely around AdWords.
Right.
We started with some interesting news around gallery ads, and then we moved on to the role that branded search queries play, and we ended with this very useful tool called Hotjar, and which I think you guys should check it out. So I like to thank Shraddha for being a part of this webinar, and we really hope to have you again as a guest sometime soon. Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Shraddha.
My honor.
Yeah,
Thanks for calling me. Thanks.
thank you, thanks, Shraddha.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.